So some of you may be thinking, great, she just graduated from Santa Clara University with the bioengineering degree. Now, how does that correspond to entering into religious life? How did that journey begin? And that's what this video is kind of about. So as some of you may know, faith has always been a really important part of my life. Ever since middle and high school, I've loved sharing my faith, sharing with others, the parts of my heart where I could just so fully love God and love others. And really that desire was first intensified whenever I went to One Bread, One Cup, a liturgical program. And that desire never really died down. And throughout high school, I was living this great life, but the deepest parts of my heart were still longing. And I felt so alone in my faith life. And then entering into a Catholic university, a Jesuit college, I thought that some of that would change. And I got involved in many different things and made many incredible friends, and my faith grew in many ways. But I still felt very alone in my faith life, and I longed for something more. And there were times in the beginning of that I was kind of looking at religious life. But in my sophomore year, I took a class called Intro to Social Entrepreneurship, and it completely changed my life. It helped me to see how through a grassroots system, we could create change, transformative change in some of the problems with injustices and poverty in our world today. And I fell in love with that model. And so I had the opportunity between my junior and senior year to be a Global Social Benefit Fellow, where I spent 2 months in Kenya, basically working at the intersection of women's religious congregations and social enterprises, or basically companies that are impact-driven rather than profit-driven. And it was in this time that I felt that God was really calling me to the religious life. And so whenever I got back from that experience, we entered into a period of vocational discernment within my fellowship. And I reached out to a friend that was in Philadelphia, and he shared with me this women's religious congregation that had this strong Ignatian spirituality, the Handmaids of the Sacred Heart of Jesus, which was core and foundational to Jesuit education that I'd been receiving. So I very quickly went out and visited them. And after returning from that visit, it was the most incredible experience of my life. I'd never felt more understood or that I belonged somewhere. And as I continued to discern that pathway throughout the next couple of months, I kept falling more and more in love with this congregation, but even more so, I continued to fall more and more in love with Christ. And what more could I ask for than to really have that experience? And it really led me to say, yes, Lord, I want to follow this path that you are calling me to. And so I recently visited them a couple of weeks ago, and it was just incredible of how strong there was this sense of, I feel that I'm at home. And there's a lot of these thoughts pondering, well, what about social entrepreneurship? What about bioengineering? And a lot of that, it's not that I'm saying no to those, but rather I'm saying yes to those, but in a new context, in a way that's a fulfillment of both of those, where I can use all the skills and talents and my weaknesses to really build a better future for everyone through the particular charism, the particular focus or ministry of the Handmaids of the Sacred Heart of Jesus. And so with great joy, with great peace, with such a blessed heart, I get to proclaim that in August, I'll be entering as a postulant, the first stage of formation in this congregation. And I'm just so incredibly excited to begin this new journey. And I hope that this video has provided with you a little insight into why I made this crazy but beautiful decision. So thanks for watching.